bozos off the stage.
Hello, my name is Hicho Shin.
And I'm Jake Kinney.
Before we start, I want you guys to close your eyes and think of a time when you contributed to your community. This could be arranged from like physically or just like donating money. Give you guys 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now that you're done, think, why did I do that? Is it because I was told to do so, or did you think it was your duty to help the people in need?
Think about those things during this talk.
There are many problems in this world, whether it be world hunger or homelessness. However, these are things that we can help solve. Hunger means distress due to lack of food, which is getting less than 1,800 calories a day. Around 811 million people, or about 9.9% of the world's population, is hungry.
This can be caused by many factors, the most common being poverty. People in poverty can't support themselves with a stable food source, or they live in an area that just doesn't have food, or they don't have access to it. Another factor is natural disasters and humanitarian crises such as COVID-19. Natural disasters such as hurricanes destroy communities and leave people stranded with no resources, usually resulting in starvation. Crises such as COVID-19 impact people's income and supply of food.
Thankfully, there are many solutions to solve world hunger. To begin with, there is enough food in the world to feed everybody. People just need the access to that food, and you guys can help. This can be done by donating to your food drives, not wasting food or not buying too much food when you go to the grocery store, and just straight up donating money.
You may be wondering, why are we talking about this? It's because it all relates to Hinduism.
Hinduism is a way of life, not just a religion. Founded in India, Hindus wanted to get closer to their God. Hindus would go through their 4 stages of life to reach that God, and through those 4 stages, they would try and experience everything in the world.
The 4 stages to a person's life are defined by the times of day: the morning, noonday, evening, and night. The morning stage is when you're a student and you learn about every aspect about life. During your noonday, you become the teacher, and it becomes your duty to teach and serve your community.
The evening stage is when Hindus have lost their want for desire, drive for success, and duty, and they begin to transcend into what they really want, which is infinite being, power, and knowledge. And then finally, there's the night stage. The night stage is when you no longer have any attachments to the moral world, and this is the last stage of your life.
So, if I were a practicing Hindu and there were members of my society that were starving, it would be my duty to help and feed them, because it is like my time in the noonday stage when I become an adult. Let's try something here. Raise your hand if you're a practicing Hindu. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I see that there are no practicing Hindus in here, but even though you aren't practicing Hindus and you all are clearly not old enough to be in your noonday stages yet, we can still adopt their way of thinking and help out our communities.
Here are some ways you can do so. First is be considerate. If you see someone in need, give them a helping hand. Whether that is some cash or some food, one small contribution can make a big difference in someone's life.
You can also be generous. Like Hicho said, if you have the available food, money, or just any resource that anybody needs, you should donate it.
Here are some personal examples from our life where we have used our duty to help out people in the community. So something my family does is we donate clothing and sports equipment that we don't use anymore. So something that's convenient is that down the street from our house, we have a container that collects these unwanted clothes. So every year we gather these clothes that we don't wear and we put them into a bag, and if they're in decent condition, we try to donate those. For sports equipment is something that's usually very expensive. So if there's any old cleats or any equipment that we don't use anymore, we try not to throw them away, and we try to give them to someone who needs them. We do this because as someone part of the community, it is our duty to look out for people within it. There are many kids who can't afford and people wear the same thing every day. This can be answered by a small clothing donation. Also, a kid shouldn't miss out playing in sports just because they can't afford equipment. It is an experience that can give them great opportunities and life lessons and it keeps them healthy. As an individual in a community, we should notice this and help out because it is our duty to look out for other people in our community.
Just like Hucho's family, every year during spring cleaning, my sister and I go through our closets, and any clothes that don't fit or we don't want, they just go straight to Goodwill. Also, about 2 or 3 years ago during Christmas break, my family and I were ice skating down at the Pandora Ice Rink downtown. And as you all know, there's a Shake Shack right across the street. So we eat Shake Shack after, and there's a homeless man sitting outside. My mom, we asked if he wants any food because it's better to give food than give money because no one knows what they're gonna do with the money. So we get him the hamburger and I run it outside and we give it to him. And it just makes me feel very, very good inside to help people in need. But also, in my mind, if I were practicing Hindu at that point, I would believe it was my duty to help that man. And no matter what, I would have helped him. My family, even though my family, we aren't Hindus, we just do things like that because it's the right thing.
We hope you learned something new from this talk, and I hope you can incorporate it into your life. Thank you.
McDonald's is now serving breakfast all day. McDonald's, I'm loving it.